Hi and Assalamualaikum to Mr. Shafiq and to all my friends. Today, our group will present on the performance analysis of volleyball. For that, I would like to introduce of our group members. We have Muhammad Izzat bin Hussein, we have Muhammad Nur Ikmal bin Aziz, Siti Noriza bin Idris, Sadatul Afika binti Yusof, and me, Muhammad Nur Siddiq bin Abdullah. Our performance analysis today will be analysis on volleyball of Men's Volleyball World Grand Champions Cup 2017 on match of France against Japan.
Firstly, for the introduction, in volleyball, the game will be played by two teams, which one side consists of 6 players. So the player need to use their hands to bat the ball back and forth over the net in order to make the ball touch the court within the opponent's playing area before it can be returned. A team is allowed only 3 touches of the ball before it can be returned over the net. Next, we have 5 components in volleyball training, which are speed and reaction time, agility, power, flexibility, and endurance. So for this slide, I will focus for speed and reaction time, agility, and power. So, speed and reaction time. Players need to move quickly around the court to counter the speed of serve and smash. For agility, in order to make successful plays, players often have to make quick decisions to dodge, duck, or dive. And the last one, power. Players need to hone their ability to generate enough upper body power and strength for spike and also for block. For this slide, I will explain about the other components in volleyball training, which are flexibility and endurance. For flexibility, squatting and lunging to return a volleyball requires loose and limber limbs. And for endurance, volleyball matches may be played over a long time due to the best of 5 rule, and they may stretch out further if there are long rallies. For the purpose of performance analysis, first, it will help to develop an understanding of action that can inform the decision making, optimize performance, and support coaches and players. In many team sports, this will consist on tactical assessment, movement analysis, video, and statistical database. Also, performance analysis can help to enhance the coaching process by providing the visual feedback, which is the video analysis, and also objective statistical analysis, which is data analysis. This is profile of the team, which the team that wear a blue jersey on the left side is a France team, and the team that wear a red jersey on the right side is Japan team. So for the France team, the captain is Benjamin Toniotti, and the coaches is Philippe Blaine. While for Japan team, the captain is Takashi Dekita, and the coaches is Nakagaichi Yuichi.
For the ranking, we can see France at the 5th place and Japan at the 6th place. For the total point, France got 4 while Japan got 0. And for the total set, France has got 6 won and 12 lost while Japan got 2 won and 15 lost.
Next, we will continue for offensive and defensive action. For offensive action, building on fundamentals and execute the offense quickly are the keys. The set should never be higher than 5 feet because the higher the feet, the more time the defense has to prepare. And for offensive action, it must be simple and fast. The set plays off server, receive at variety, and give athletes time to visualize the play. And for defensive action, the key to successful defense in volleyball is building the habits of the team. The team has to quickly and efficiently react to the ball on the other side of the court, and they have to be in position to receive the ball. So the sooner they recognize the location of the pass, the sooner they can rotate. And for defensive action, communication is the key.
In volleyball, we focus on 5 indicators. First is spike. Second is block. Third is serve. Four is set. And last one is digging.
Now I will present to you about the analysis on the first set of the match. So the first set, France have won against the Japan with the point 25-15. And these are the indicators that been analyzed during the match, which is spike, block, digging, serves, and set. So we will go through one by one. So for the first indicator, which is we analyze is serve. So in the first set, we had analyzed that there are 40 serve that been performed in the first set, which the success for the both team is 33 serve and the unsuccessful serve is about 7. So France have performed 22 success serve, then Japan. Japan only complete serve for 11 only, and then France unsuccessful serve about 3 and Japan 4. Next indicator is digging. So in the first set there are 16 the successful digging from the France, whilst Japan have performed 30 digging successful. Unfortunately, France have 1 unsuccessful digging, while Japan have 5 unsuccessful digging. The next indicator is sets. There are 46 successful sets that perform in the first set, and there are none of the failure for the set. So for the France, the success set by France is 24, while Japan is 22. Next is spike. Spike, we can observe that there are 34 successful spike that have been performed in first set. So for the France, France have done 17 successful spike while Japan only 16. But France, they have a least unsuccessful spike, which is 4, while Japan have 7 unsuccessful spike. The last indicator is block. We can observe that there are 9 successful block for both teams, which is France performed 6 blocks while Japan performed 3 blocks. Unfortunately, the both teams have higher the failure block, which France have 7 unsuccessful block while Japan have 8 unsuccessful block.
Next, we look at the second statistic. In set 2 in this game volleyball, we can look at the total point, France versus Japan, which is France got 2 points while Japan got 0 point. And then we look at the success and failure for 5 indicators. First, we look at the serve stat. For the serve, we can see that France get higher success compared to the Japan. And for the failure also, France get higher than Japan. For the digging state, we can see that for the success, France get higher compared to the Japan. And also for the failure, France get higher compared to Japan. For the set stats, we can see that both groups got no failure. But for the success, we can see that France got higher success compared to the Japan. And for the spike states, we can see that they got higher success compared to failure. And also for the same group, which is France, get higher success compared to the Japan. And for the failure, also France get the higher failure compared to the Japan. And last indicator, which is block. For block state, we can see that they get higher in failure compared to success. And the same group also, which is France, get higher failure compared to Japan.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Iqmal bin Aziz. I'm from RSR 2435B. I'm going to continue with the third set statistic. So, this is the overall of the view that included the 5 indicators. So we go to the first start is serve. Based on this histogram, the total of France success serve is higher than Japan. France has 20 success serve compared to the Japan, which is only 16 success. But for the failure, Japan have more failure than France, which is failure of Japan is 8 and the failure of France is only 5 for the serve. Next we go to the digging. Overall, France has a 16 successful digging compared to Japan who have more successful digging, which is 26. But for the failure digging, both teams are equal. They have only one failure for digging. Next to the setting status. France have 17 setting successful and Japan have 26 successful setting. For the failure, both teams have no failure for the setting. Next, we go to the spike set. For France, they have 15 successful spike, but for Japan, they have more, which is 21 successful spike. But for the failure, France and Japan have equal failure of spike. Next to the block status. France have only 7 successful block. Japan have only 2 successful blocking. But for the failure, both of them have a equal blocking failure.
Next, I will moving to the strength and weakness of France and Japan teams. For France team, after doing analysis, we can look that they have a better of accuracy on positioning the ball. The accuracy of positioning the ball by the back setter is important for hitter to have a successful hit during the attacking. Because of the France team have more chance to setting the ball, this had led to increase of accuracy on ball positioning during perform on attacking. The France also have a good tactical formations. Because of this, they can execute the defense position to the attacking position smoothly. The France team also have a great communications between their players. The communication is important when the team is being attacking. We can see that after the Japan team make an attacking during spike or serve, the France team will communicate with each other after the first ball retrieve for who's gonna take the second ball and setting it and make a spike. So for Japan, they have a highly motivation in their team. We can see by even though they are falling behind with a lot of points and losing 2 sets, that doesn't break their spirits to keep fighting on their third match, their third sets. They also are not easy to give up on their opponent and have a great determination. We can see that during their second and third sets. Even they lose at the first sets by 15 to 25 to France, they doesn't stop to look for an opportunity to turn around the game. So on weakness, the France team is sometimes doing a simple mistake. We can look doing their perform on serve compared to the Japan. France also more frequency doing mistake at the serve. The France also team also have a lack of concentrations. This can be looked on the second and third sets. After leading the France, team will begin to lose focus and make errors. On the Japan, their weakness is they don't take full of advantage on the opportunity when they have chance to create the point. They also have a lack of tactical and doing many errors during the match. Next, we're moving to the flaws of the games. The Japan team is totally out of play and concentrations during the first sets. We can see that they have lost the sets by 15 to 25 to the France. For the first, Japan is more likely to make an errors compared to France. At the second sets, the Japan tried to catch up with France. At these sets, the Japan team is more aggressive while doing an attacking, but the France team managed to hold and seal the victory to the second sets by 23 to 25. During the third set, Japan's tried once again to rise up and challenge France, but unfortunately, the France team is more superior and making less errors, and by that, the France had won the match by straight games against the Japans. Next, we're moving to the slide of things to be improved for France and Japan team. For France, they must away even they are leading. Even they have win the first set, they must set on their mind that the game is not over yet. This can be looked after the second sets, where the France is more unaware against the Japan. Next is the middle blocker must more focus during doing the block. If they manage to decrease the arrows while doing the block, they can seal the game more faster. The France team also can improve on preventing on doing a minor mistake during the match. For the Japan team, they need to improve on their defending. During the first set, the Japan defense is not so good, and because of that, they're losing the sets. They also need to more emphasize on successful and accuracy while doing attacking. The good attacking is important for any of team to make sure they will winning the game. Next is improving the communication among the teammates. We can see that the Japan team have slightly miscommunication on their team. The lost communication among teammates had led to difficulty to defense by the Japan's team. Japan also need a more better tactical formation. This because we can see during the match the France has a better tactical formation compared with Japan, and for that the France had won the game. Now we're moving to the conclusions. France played more better during the match and dominate the first set. During the first set, Japan team were lost of focus and concentrations because that they have lost. Japan team tried to get up during the second and third set, but unfortunately, the France team have more better tactical and make a less error comparing with the Japan team. This had led to a winning of 3 games straight by the France team. Even though the Japan's team had shown they have a good fighting spirit, where they're losing with only slightly different point during the second and third sets.